Hey, people, they talk say in the midst of your wiseness, be very careful. These are things that Olori Toby Phillips really needs to take into consideration because every day, Toby does one or two things that will keep on tarnishing her image, that will keep on hindering her success. She just keep on doing things that will altercate every single thing she feels she has been planning all this while. So right now, Olori Toby has played smart. Olori Toby has done every single thing she feels she can do. But as it stands right now, there is a court order from the Oni preventing her from entering the palace. They had to go to that extent of getting a court order against Olori Toby Phillips to tell her that she should never ever step her foot into the palace again. So my people, as this matter dey progress, you would get to understand that Olori Toby Phillips is not stopping. No matter what happens, Toby will just keep on doing this over and over again. And as long as this matter is concerned, Toby would not give up at any single point at all. A divorce papers were given to Olori Toby Phillips to sign. The best thing Toby felt she could do was to go to the customary courts so that she could get things in her favor. Getting things in her favor is not the problem, but under what motive is Toby trying to get things in her favor is the question everybody is asking. That under what motive? Because not like we have come to know Toby so well, but the Toby we knew is different from the Toby we are knowing now. Yes, the Toby we knew back then, that Toby was in the palace, Toby was living a good life, Toby was that good person. So Toby changed all of a sudden. It should be that it has always been her nature. We just didn't know. Yes, it should be that it has always been her nature. We just didn't know. Because maybe she was hiding. Maybe she was just doing a show off so that people would not know who she actually is. But as it is right now, she has done a lot of things that are worth questioning. And these things that she has done that are worth questioning are exactly the things that are taking her down. Yes, these things are exactly the things that are taking her down. Because the more she does these things, the more they affect her. But yes, she doesn't know it. The more she does these things, the more these things gets to affect her. But she's not knowing it. And every single day Toby is doing one new thing. Every single day Toby is doing one other new thing. So my people, right now the Oni had already told Olori Toby Phillips that, see, you cannot play smart. That was when she that was when she ran to go meet the elders to see how she could buy them on their side. Because all this while we know that the elders have remained one undecisive persons in the palace. And because of that undecisive nature, their Miriam really used it at some point to their advantage. Every single thing like this, Miriam don't bribe all these elders, or Olori Aderonke don't bribe. And the next thing what is happening is the elders will go in for a meeting and then they will become undecisive in the meeting. This person will be for Ronke, this person will be for Miriam. At some point, Oni even stopped consulting them, stopped having meetings with them. That was to the extent it went. So with all of these things put together, these elders themselves already know how far these things went for before they could even settle it. Before they settled with the Oni, they knew how all of these things went. So getting involved in something like this it will not even be what they would admire or what they will even want to embrace, because these things they can ruin someone. Atobi has finally gotten herself into that point where, as it stands right now, there is nothing anybody can do to help Toby, because Toby has received the court order not to enter the palace. Just prior before now, we heard of how the Ifa chief priest had already sent warnings to the Oni that Toby's supposed twins should never enter the palace, neither should the Oni claim custody of those children. So right now, no, my people, Toby might seem quite distorted. It might be like Toby is displaced, but this is what Toby wanted for herself. We can categorically say that Olori Toby Phillips is one person, is just one person who has lived two lives in recent times, because when we got to know Toby was not like this. So the switch after Toby returned back into the palace to be on top of every single matter, it's beginning to be alarming. It's beginning to be a thing of consideration, because what happened? What was the drive? When she went to Olori Naomi's church, all the things to be said there, they were what putting into consideration, because she was saying things like when she discovered she was pregnant, and all these women have always spoken of Naomi using Tedenikawo on the Oni. She came to a conclusion that she stood a very, very good chance, and she stood on a fertile ground if she could bring forth a child. Then she would stand in a very good competition with Olori Naomi. But the thing there is, what is causing all of this competition? Is he now Tedenikawo? Because Olori Aderonke once told Olori Naomi that be thankful you have a son for the Oni. Abi your only luck is that you have a son for the Oni. So all these things are categorically beginning to be like, it became, and Naomi became Oni's favorite simply because she has a son for him. So everything Olori Toby Phillips was doing was to also bring forth a child so that she could become the only favorite and stay on top of matters in the palace. That was why, after she had her twins, and then it so happened that the court ruled in favor of Olori Naomi, and Naomi had to return back into the palace and be the one in charge. It so happened that she left the palace. Olori Toby Phillips left the palace because she came to a conclusion that she cannot stay in a place where Naomi is in charge. That was her conclusion. But my people, right now, as it stands, so no matter what happens to Toby brought it upon herself. No matter what goes on with Olori Toby Phillips, Toby brought it upon herself. And as long as this matters goes on, as long as this matter stays, Olori Toby Phillips have caused all of these things to herself. Now there is a court order against her not to enter the palace. We don't know how long this court order will stand, but as long as a court order stands, it is a proof that Olori Toby Phillips have met her end, and categorically, Toby has no escape route. We have always said this thing that no matter what happens at the end of it, or Toby knows exactly what she's doing, and she's not ignorant of any of the things she has gotten herself involved in.